For nearly 2 decades, they shared the same sky. Two stars so bright, so impossibly consistent, that an entire generation of football fans forgot what it was like to argue about anyone else. Pele and Maradona had a debate. Cruyff and Beckenbauer had a debate. But Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo? They built a religion. 81 trophies between them, 13 Ballon d'Or awards, over 1,700 career goals. And somewhere, in living rooms and locker rooms, in barbershops and boardrooms, in pubs from Buenos Aires to Lisbon to Jakarta, the same question still refuses to die. Who was actually better? Not who you love more. Not who scored the prettier goal last weekend. Who, when the dust settles and the statues are built, and the great-grandchildren of today's kids ask us what football looked like in the 21st century, will be remembered as the better footballer. In the next 22 minutes, I'm going to give you the most honest, evidence-based answer you've ever heard. No bias. No hype. Just the truth. Stay with me. Before we get into the numbers, the trophies, the rivalry, and the verdict, I want you to understand what we're really doing here. This isn't a fan video. This isn't a list of highlights set to dramatic music. This is a forensic comparison of two athletes whose careers happen to overlap in a way that statisticians say should not have been possible. The probability of two players of this caliber existing in the exact same era, in the exact same league for 9 years, playing for the two biggest rivals in club football, and trading the world's biggest individual award back and forth like a tennis ball, is, by any reasonable measure, close to zero. And yet, it happened. So we're going to walk through this comparison in 7 parts. We'll look at the raw numbers, the playing styles, the peak years, the team trophies, the international careers, the impact on the sport itself, and finally, the intangibles. The things that don't show up on a stat sheet but matter just as much. By the end, you'll have your answer. And maybe, just maybe, you'll have a new appreciation for the one you don't support. Let's begin. To understand the players, you have to understand the boys. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro was born on February 5, 1985, on the small Portuguese island of Madeira, the youngest of 4 children in a working-class family. His father was a part-time gardener and a kit man at the local football club. His mother was a cook. Cristiano was not, as the legend sometimes goes, a born superstar. He was a thin, hyperactive, fiercely competitive kid who cried when his team lost and who, at age 15, was diagnosed with a racing heart that required surgery. He could have died. Instead, he came back stronger, and at 16, he moved alone to Lisbon to chase his dream at Sporting CP. He cried himself to sleep for weeks. 2 years later, Manchester United paid £12.24 million for him after a friendly match. The legend had begun. Lionel Andres Messi was born on June 24, 1987, in Rosario, Argentina, into a family that lived and breathed football. His grandmother took him to his first training session when he was 4. By 6, he was the best player on a team 3 years older than him. By 8, scouts knew his name. But at 10, a doctor delivered devastating news. Messi had a growth hormone deficiency. The treatment would cost $900 a month, and his family could not afford it. Local clubs in Argentina refused to pay. But on a napkin in a Barcelona restaurant in December 2000, a sporting director named Carles Rexach scribbled a contract offering to cover the treatment and bring the 13-year-old to Spain. Messi grew. So did the legend. 2 boys. 2 impossible journeys. 1 era. Let's start where most arguments start and where most of them should end, with the numbers. As of the most recent updated statistics, Cristiano Ronaldo has scored approximately 950 career goals in 1,293 appearances with 259 assists. Lionel Messi has scored approximately 891 career goals in 1,131 appearances with 399 assists. On the surface, Ronaldo leads in goals by about 59. But here's where it gets interesting. Ronaldo has played 162 more games to get those extra goals. Messi has 140 more assists. If you combine goals and assists, what we call goal contributions, Messi has 190 in 1,131 games, a contribution every 4.88 games. Ronaldo has 1,209 in 1,293 games, a contribution every 1.07 game. In other words, per match, Messi creates more. Hat tricks. Ronaldo leads 66-60. Penalties. Ronaldo has scored 163 career penalties to Messi's 110. Which means if you remove penalty goals from both totals, Messi actually leads in non-penalty goals 781 to 787, statistically nearly identical, with Messi taking and missing far fewer. Free kicks. Messi has 65 career direct free kick goals to Ronaldo's 60, despite Ronaldo being widely considered the more famous dead ball specialist. Champions League. Ronaldo is the all-time top scorer with 140 goals. Messi is second with 129. Ronaldo has appeared in 183 Champions League matches, Messi in 163. But Messi has scored in more Champions League finals, including the one that defined his Barcelona dynasty, and Messi's goal per game ratio in the competition is slightly higher. International football. Messi has scored 112 goals for Argentina. Ronaldo has scored 143 goals for Portugal, the most in men's international football history. Ronaldo leads here, and it's a meaningful lead. But Messi has 60 international assists to Ronaldo's 24. Goal contributions, Ronaldo 167, Messi 172. Once again near parity. So what do the numbers actually tell us? They tell us this. If you measure pure goal-scoring volume, Ronaldo wins. If you measure overall offensive contribution per game, Messi wins. If you measure efficiency in non-penalty situations, Messi wins. If you measure longevity and consistency at the highest level, they are, quite literally, the two greatest of all time, and the gap between them is razor thin. Numbers, however, are only half the story, because Messi and Ronaldo did not play the same sport. I mean that almost literally. Cristiano Ronaldo is a vertical player. He attacks the goal in straight lines, with bursts of acceleration, with leaps that defy physics, with shots from any angle and any distance. He is the ultimate finisher, a player whose game evolved from a tricky winger with 1,000 step-overs into a clinical, ruthless number 9 who scored more headed goals than most strikers score with their feet. His genius is in the final third. Give him a cross, a rebound, a half yard of space inside the box, and the ball is in the net. He is power. He is precision. He is the most physically optimized footballer the sport has ever produced. Lionel Messi is a horizontal player. He attacks defenses by drifting, dribbling, threading passes through eyes of needles that mortals cannot see. Where Ronaldo runs at the goal, Messi runs at defenders, sometimes 3 or 4 at a time, with a low center of gravity, a left foot that has been called a magic wand, and a brain that processes the game at a speed that has actually been studied by neuroscientists. He has scored from outside the box, inside the box, from impossible angles. But more than that, he has made his teammates better. He is the most prolific creator of chances in the modern era, with more recorded assists in the top 5 European leagues than any other player. The difference is philosophical. Ronaldo finishes, Messi plays, Ronaldo arrives at the moment, Messi creates the moment. Ronaldo is what you'd build in a laboratory if you wanted to manufacture goals. Messi is what you dream about if you closed your eyes and imagined the most beautiful version of the game. Neither is wrong. Neither is better in a vacuum. They are simply different. And this is the first crack in the simple answer to our question. Because to ask who was better is, in some ways, to ask whether painting is better than sculpture. Every great athlete has a peak. A window where they are not just elite, but operating on a different plane from everyone else. Let's compare the peaks. Cristiano Ronaldo's peak, by most analytical accounts, ran from roughly 2011 to 2017. During those 6 seasons at Real Madrid, he averaged over 50 goals per season, won 4 Champions League titles, 4 Ballons d'Or, and dragged Portugal to a European Championship in 2016. His 2013-2014 season, in which he scored 51 La Liga goals and 17 in the Champions League, was, by raw scoring metrics, one of the most prolific individual seasons in football history. He was unstoppable. A machine. Messi's peak, by nearly every advanced metric, ran from 2008 to 2015. During those 7 seasons at Barcelona, he won 4 consecutive Ballons d'Or, the only player ever to do that, scored 91 goals in a calendar year in 2012, which remains an official world record, and was the focal point of a Barcelona team that many consider the greatest club side ever assembled. His 2011-2012 season, 73 goals and 29 assists in 60 games, is statistically the single greatest individual season in the history of European football. No one has come close. Not before, not since. Not Ronaldo. And here is where I have to be honest with you. If you isolate just the peak years, just the highest of the high points, the consensus among football analysts, former players, and people who have actually played against both leans heavily toward Messi. Pep Guardiola, who has coached or coached against nearly every great player of this generation, has said it plainly. There has never been a player like Messi at his peak. Zinedine Zidane, who coached Ronaldo to 3 Champions League titles, has said Messi is from another planet. Ronaldo's peak was extraordinary. Messi's peak was historic. But peaks are only part of the story. Because what comes after the peak is, in many ways, the more remarkable part of Ronaldo's case. Here is where Cristiano Ronaldo makes a case that even the most committed Messi fan has to respect. Longevity. Ronaldo has scored more than 25 goals in a season for 16 consecutive years across 4 different leagues in 3 different countries. He has been the top scorer in the Premier League, La Liga, and Serie A. He won league titles in England, Spain, and Italy. He has played and scored in 5 different World Cups. At 40 years old, he is still scoring goals at a rate that would make most 25-year-olds envious. There is no precedent for what Cristiano Ronaldo has done in the second half of his career. Messi, by contrast, spent the vast majority of his career at one club, Barcelona, before a brief and somewhat difficult stint at Paris Saint-Germain and his current chapter at Inter Miami. His career arc is more concentrated, brighter at the top perhaps, but narrower in geographic and competitive spread. Now, the trophies. This is where the debate often gets the most heated, so let's be precise. Lionel Messi has won 46 official senior trophies in his career, the most of any player in football history. Cristiano Ronaldo has won 35, which is also extraordinary, second only to Messi himself. League titles. Messi has won 12, including 10 La Ligas with Barcelona, 2 Ligue 1 titles with PSG. Ronaldo has won 7 across 3 different leagues. Domestic cups. Messi has 8. Ronaldo has 6. Champions League titles. Ronaldo has 5. Messi has 4. This is Ronaldo's strongest individual trophy argument, and it's a real one. 5 Champions Leagues, 4 of them in 5 years, is staggering. Ballon d'Or. Messi has 8. Ronaldo has 5. Between 2008 and 2023, they won 13 of the 16 awarded, which means that for 16 years, the rest of the world's footballers were essentially competing for third place. International trophies. And here is the chapter that, for many, finally tilted the scale. Lionel Messi has won the 2021 Copa America, the 2022 FIFA World Cup, and the 2024 Copa America. 3 major international trophies, including the one he had been told he could never win. Cristiano Ronaldo has won the 2016 European Championship, 2 major international trophies, both extraordinary. But only one of them has lifted the World Cup. Only one of them has the trophy that, fair or not, the world has used as the ultimate measuring stick for greatness for nearly 100 years. December 18, 2022, Lusail Stadium, Qatar. For 3 hours of football and another 40 minutes of penalties, Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappé played what many have already called the greatest World Cup final in history. Messi scored twice, Argentina won on penalties. And in that single moment, a debate that had raged for 15 years quietly but decisively shifted. That he could never win the World Cup like Maradona, like Pele, was suddenly gone. After being booed at home. After being told he wasn't a real Argentine because he had left at 13. He held the trophy above his head, kissed it, and the entire planet, even people who don't watch football, watched for Cristiano Ronaldo. That same World Cup ended differently. Benched in the knockout rounds. Tears on the bench after Portugal's exit. A controversial interview before the tournament that strained his relationship with Manchester United. A move to Saudi Arabia that, depending on who you ask, was either a brilliant business decision or a quiet retirement from elite-level football. Now, I want to be very careful here. because it would be easy and lazy to say that the World Cup settles the debate. It doesn't. Ronaldo's longevity, his scoring records, his Champions League dominance, his ability to win in multiple countries, these are not erased by Messi's World Cup. But the World Cup did do something important. It removed the last argument against Messi. For years, the case against him was, he hasn't won the big one with Argentina. After December 2022, that case no longer exists. And once you remove that argument, you are left comparing two players where one has more individual awards, more team trophies, the World Cup, the Copa Americas, more Ballons d'Or, more assists, a higher per-game contribution rate, and the consensus of nearly every footballer, coach, and analyst who has been asked the question directly. But football, as anyone who truly loves it knows, is not just about trophies and statistics. So let's talk about the intangibles, the things you can't measure. Cristiano Ronaldo's greatest intangible is his work ethic. The stories are legendary. The first to training, the last to leave. The diet's so strict that teammates have described eating with him as a kind of religious experience. The body fat percentage of a 25-year-old at the age of 40. He has made himself, brick by brick, into the player he is. He is the embodiment of the idea that talent without work is nothing. For millions of young athletes around the world, he is, and will remain, the ultimate proof that you can will yourself into greatness. Lionel Messi's greatest intangible is his vision. Not just the ability to see passes, though that is part of it, but the ability to see the entire game in slow motion while everyone else plays at regular speed. Coaches have described it as a sixth sense. Defenders have described it as something close to magic. It cannot be taught. It cannot be learned. It is the rarest gift in sport. And then there is the question of personality. Ronaldo is a showman. Loud, brash, supremely confident, and unapologetic about all of it. He has built one of the largest personal brands in the history of celebrity, with hundreds of millions of social media followers and a business empire that will likely outlive him by a century. Messi is quiet, reserved, almost shy. He lets his feet do the talking. He has built a brand too, but it has always felt incidental, a side effect of his football rather than a goal in itself. Two players, two philosophies of greatness, two completely different answers to the question of what it means to be the best. So, after everything, after the numbers, the trophies, the peaks, the longevity, the World Cup, and the intangibles, who was really the better footballer? I'll give you the honest answer. By the broadest consensus of football experts, by the weight of individual awards, and by the trophy cabinet, including the World Cup, Lionel Messi is, more often than not, considered the better footballer. Not by a landslide, not by a margin that should make any Ronaldo fan feel disrespected, but by a meaningful, measurable, and increasingly widely accepted gap. But here is what I want you to take away from this video, and it's more important than the verdict. The question of who is better, in the end, is the wrong question, because what Messi and Ronaldo have given us together is something that no single player could have given us alone. They have pushed each other to records that neither would have reached in isolation. They have made an entire generation of fans care more, watch more, argue more, and feel more about football than any rivalry in the sport's history. When Ronaldo scored 50 goals in a season, Messi scored 60. When Messi won a Ballon d'Or, Ronaldo trained harder to win the next one. They have been, for 2 decades, in 50 years, when the children of today's children ask what football looked like in the early 21st century, the answer will not be Messi or Ronaldo. The answer will be Messi and Ronaldo. 2 players, 1 era. The greatest rivalry the sport has ever known, and quite possibly the greatest rivalry it will ever know. So tell me, in the comments below, who do you think was really the better footballer, and more importantly, why? Was it the artist or the athlete, the creator or the finisher, the World Cup winner or the Champions League king? I read every comment, and the debate in the comments section of these videos is, honestly, one of the best parts of making them. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit the like button, subscribe for more long-form football breakdowns like this one, the single greatest goal of Ronaldo's. Until next time, keep watching, keep arguing, and keep loving the game. I'll see you in the next one.